Kumi.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency, government ministers, ambassadors, delegates, invited guests. I would like to thank the Permanent Mission of Brazil to the United States for the invitation to speak to the members, states, and for their presence also to listen. My name is Patrick, and I would like to tell you a little bit about myself, and I have some few recommendations that I think if we jointly come together, it will work. And I will request you to listen, which I know you will listen. In 2016, I was 15. I lived together with my family in a village far away from the equatorial region of South Sudan. One day, went to farm with my father. Unfortunately, an armed group came and adopted us. They took us far away from our home village. They tortured us, claiming that my father had carried or kept a gun. We are made to sleep in a pit filled with water after our necks, and they could not stop beating us. Because my father could not confess to something, he has nothing to say about it, they shot my father right in front of me. I was then told to join the force or I die. I cannot remember what I said. I only realized myself that my answer was yes when I found myself in the center of the camp, where hundreds of other children are staying. I could not eat for days and could not stop crying. In the barracks, there are over 2,000 people, with half of them were children, with many carrying guns. I was shocked and speechless. From the few I spoke to, some of the children joined the force because they were offered money and promised bigger positions. Some joined because their family were killed and had a reason of revenge. A 10-year-old boy that I spoke to, he told me the parents were mistreating him and he could not longer bear to stay with them. More younger children had wives. Even the adult as well, married children of 14 and 15 years. In each attack I was forced to participate in, at least 5 children were injured or killed. There was no medical care. When you are sick, you either die or you survive. We drank water together with the animals. One day, an attack was launched in our barracks by the government forces. There was shooting everywhere. It was chaos. I ran. I narrowly escaped death. I kept going. I found my way to Uganda. I was registered in a Bidibidi refugee settlement. It took me 11 months trying to find my family. When I did, it was a day of joy, happiness, and sorrows. In 2018, I joined a War Child program called Boys More, a youth advocacy program. I went through trainings and ran a project on orphans and separated children, together with other youth in my area. After the program, together with my friends, we set up our own community-based organization called Similar Ground, where we are helping hundreds of children to recover from stress and trauma. We are also running awareness campaigns with youth. It means a lot to us to help hundreds of children recover from stress and to help also other young people play a bigger role in the community. And this year, I have enrolled for my degree in human rights, peace, and humanitarian response. I wasted 3 years of my life trying to recover. Many children in my community are not able to recover so fast. Some don't recover at all. This is just one story. But we know there are thousands of children currently going through what I did. I've given a lot of thoughts during these years to what could have helped a child like me. Based on my experience and my work with children, I would like to present 4 recommendations to you. First, better quality reintegration that really understands the child. Children living armed groups need our full support to heal. They need medical care. They need to be reunited with their families and have opportunities to learn. Most importantly, communities need to be supported on how to welcome them. Children living armed forces are seen as a threat, and more work needs to be done to help people understand their needs and what they have been through. In addition to this, there is a gap in opportunities for children and young people living armed forces. They need to learn new skills and know how to put them into a good use. Secondly, we all know billions of dollars are given each year, but there's no greater sustainability. In humanitarian response, we give money, projects are implemented, then they are finished. National or international organizations need to collaborate better with the government, national and local organizations. So when projects are over, the community and the government can take over. I also request for a longer-term funding is made available for projects and local organizations and community groups, including youth, because they can lead it. International organizations play a bigger and important role, but they all eventually leave when the time comes. Whereas we know our issues very well, and we can make activities more sustainable. Thirdly, more participation in decision-making of people like me, children, and the youth. It is great I can speak here today. I'm very grateful for it. But one person, once a year, it's not enough. Young people affected by conflict need more opportunities to participate in policy and programming that is about them. Children affected by conflict will soon grow into adults, and many will be ready to be part of the solution. This will improve a situation in the longer term. There should be more opportunities for participation and empowerment of young people in the UN system and in the designing and leading response. Finally, greater accountability. There are a lot of laws that are already in place that are meant to support children affected by conflict. For example, the UN Committee on the Rights of a Child, the Geneva Convention, and many of the Security Council resolutions. So many countries have agreed to these laws, but they are not respected. They are not enforced as supposed to be at the country or a regional level. There should be more accountability for the promises and commitments made. There should be more effort to ensure that militaries, armed groups, local government, and anyone who meets a child in a conflict zone knows and understands these laws, while those who break them need to be held accountable. Last week, I sat down with friends and colleagues in BDVD, and I asked them what is that particular thing, the most important thing, as to request the Security Council. All of them agreed is that youth and children participation in the policy and programming. If it is something meant for the children and the youth, then let it be for them. I would like to finish by saying, thanking my friends and collaborators at Similar Grant, to World Child, and other people and organizations that have helped me in my journey. And thank you, members of the UN School Council, for what you will do to better help children in conflict. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kumi, for sharing with us your experience and also for the recommendations you have brought to our attention, which I'm sure